Qiu, okay. Do you want to explain about unmuting yourself? Why exactly? Or we can type in chat. Okay, well, in the meantime, anyone else have any opinions on this? There's this famous quote that says like, I forgot who it's from, but the quote goes, "The best argument against democracy is to talk to a voter," or something like that. So that's just a funny quote, I guess, that shows that um, potentially, while most people are good voters, maybe some people are not good voters, which damages democracy. And yeah, so this view has been prevalent in one form or another, actually throughout the world, during most of recorded history until the early 20th century. And since then, it has been most evoked by opponents of democracy in Europe and elsewhere to justify forms of dictatorship and one-party rule. So that about wraps up this discussion. Does anyone have any questions on this discussion? I guess I'm not sure what about I'm not sure, maybe this is too difficult of a discussion or not very interesting. But I don't know. Y'all aren't really participating. But that's okay. Since we have some time, why don't we actually do an ethical case? How about that? Because this discussion went a lot faster than I thought. Okay, yeah. So I guess political philosophy is harder than I estimated to discuss. But we can actually we have 10 minutes, so we do have time for an ethical case. So let me share my screen. Okay. So let's do this case. We have about 10 minutes. So yeah, once again, this has nothing to do with political philosophy. It's more about just an ethics case. And this is similar to what we did in our fourth meeting and third meeting. So I'll give everyone some time to read it. So someone says in chat, can I answer a question? Go ahead. Which question? Okay, so Mortis says, it depends. If you have someone to piggyback on, you can do whatever you want. Really? So you think that it's okay in school just to find someone, a partner that's willing to do all the work, and then it's not ethically questionable if you just do nothing? I guess that's the first question, right? To what extent is academic laziness ethically problematic? So Creo says, no, the teacher should have known beforehand. Okay, so let me actually organize this discussion. We're actually going to skip question 1. We're going to go to question 2 first. So the question is, Suppose Gerald wants to contribute meaningfully to the project. Would Valencia have been morally obligated to risk her grade by allowing him to take on major responsibilities? Why or why not? So who thinks that Valencia Valencia is morally obligated to allow him to participate in the project? And why? Feel free to unmute if you want. Okay, so Creo says, in reality, Valencia should sacrifice. She already has okay grades. So why do you think that she has a moral obligation to do that, though? So Creo says, not really any consequences for her. Well, there would be consequences, right? She would go down from a good grade to like a meh grade. And she certainly doesn't want to get like a bad grade. So there is consequences. So in that case, should she be morally obligated to risk her grade? Mortis says, I think she would feel guilty if she let Gerald down. That could be true, but regardless of whether or not she would feel guilty, is she morally obligated to do it? Savage says, maybe she could let Gerald do it, then restate it in her own words. Okay, so I guess that's a fine middle ground. Mortis says, I'm not sure. Okay, fair enough. It's a difficult question. Creo says, depends on her personality. Well, what she would do depends on her personality, but what should she do if she were to act like in a good way? So Anonymous Gamer says, if she gets a bad grade, oh, well, fair enough. So yeah, there definitely is consequences to her getting a bad grade. What about the third question? Should Valentina tell the teacher that Gerald did not contribute to the project? Why or why not? Creo, do you want to explain? That makes him accountable. Okay. Well, what if Valentina agreed with Gerald so that Valentina would do all the work to make sure both get a good grade? And then in that case, should Valentina tell the teacher? Savage says, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely a difficult ethical dilemma. Then no. Okay. That would be backstabbing. Yeah. I see. Fair enough. Okay. So we actually only have 3 minutes left. Anyone have any other points on this? Because there's also some resources that I'd like to share because this is our last meeting. Okay. Creo says, all depends on how heartless Valentina is. Okay, so I'm gonna do the new share here. Okay, so as I said, sadly, well, not really sadly, this is actually going to be the last meeting for this session of the Western Philosophy course. Thank you everyone so much for participating. I mean, this has been like such a great journey for me. I've learned so much teaching everyone. It's been really exciting and interesting for me to teach everyone, and hopefully everyone learned something. However, this is not the end of the Teen Civic Engagement Program, so we're actually going to be holding future sessions on different topics and also expanding. Someone says, please say the next one is soon. Well, I'm really glad for your enthusiasm. I'm not entirely sure when the next session will be, but I will announce it when it comes out. I'm actually going to be participating in the Stanford Summer Humanities Institute for the next 2 weeks. So it's definitely not going to start in the next 2 weeks. But after that, then the meetings will probably continue, and we're probably definitely going to expand and grow. So a couple of pointers. First of all, charter clubs. If anyone goes to a school where there's no philosophy club or no club that's related to anything that we do here, I think that it would be a great opportunity to found a club at your school. I mean, that's something that I think is really meaningful. It promotes a lot of healthy discussion, and also, I mean, if you're really interested in that, it definitely is something that you could put on your college resume. If you were to found a club, I'm able to provide any help or guidance or materials that you need. And then we could charter the club so that the club would be incorporated under the Teen Civic Engagement program. If anyone's interested in doing that, especially after school starts again, after COVID, please email me. It's the same email that I use to send all the emails. I'm absolutely willing to help. So contact me if you have any need for help. Secondly, the Teen Civic Engagement program is trying to grow, obviously. I think getting more people is going to let us have a bigger outreach and let us have a bigger impact. So that's why it's important for the Teen Civic Engagement program to expand, to have more outreach and more advertising. So if anyone would like to help on that, please also email me. I would appreciate all the help that I can get. Finally, some further resources if you're interested in pursuing philosophy in the future. I'm going to send this list in the email to everyone, so you don't have to take notes or anything. But here's a list of potential further resources that you could get if you're interested in philosophy or the stuff that's related to the things that we learn in our program. First is the National High School Ethics Bowl, the National Middle School Ethics Bowl and the National High School Ethics Bowl. These are actually the source of these cases that we've been using for the past couple of weeks. And they're just really good competitions that would be nice to participate in. So if anyone wants to participate in these, you can actually contact me. I can help set up, for example, a team at your school or something. And I think that would be a really meaningful opportunity. Second is that there's a lot of essay contests. For example, there's the Plato High School Essay Contest. And so there's a lot of these. If you just Google philosophy essay contest, you're going to find a couple. There's speech and debate. I'm sure most of you know about that. There's community college courses that you can take. There's the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy and the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy, which are both incredibly good resources. Incredibly good resources to get some introductory reading on pretty much anything. Like everyone knows Wikipedia, right? Stanford Encyclopedia and Internet Encyclopedia is essentially Wikipedia for philosophy. And it's all written by professors and experts in the field. So all of it is like citable. It's all really good information. I already said this before, but starting a philosophy club, if your school does not have one, is another potential opportunity you could do. And finally, reading. Reading is such a huge part of philosophy. And I think it's really important if you want to learn philosophy to read. There's a lot of books out there. These are just a couple that I've come across that some of them I've read that I think really interesting. So first of all, some introductory philosophy books. These are the books that you want to start with if you want to take a journey into philosophy. There's Justice by Michael Sandel, A History of Western Philosophy by Bertrand Russell, Problems from Philosophy by James Rachels. I think that's actually a textbook, and a couple others. Once again, I'm going to send this list in the email after the meeting. And then there's also the classics. There's books from Aristotle, Plato, Descartes, Plato again, Kant, Hume, Nietzsche, Locke, Hobbes, John Stuart Mill, a ton of these books that are all classics and that are all fascinating to read. So if you read like an online summary of a book and you find it interesting, then you can probably borrow it from the local library or search up a PDF for it. They should all be public domain because they're all like thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago. Anyway, that's all the information that I had from the slideshow. So before we end our final meeting, besides the meeting tomorrow, which is going to be about the same thing, does anyone have any questions? Oh, sorry. And also, one last thing. I'm going to send the link here, but oops. So the last thing is that in order to expand our program and to have and to be better able to attract people, it's actually really helpful to have reviews of everyone that has attended the program already. So I would really honestly really appreciate it if all of you could write a review for this program and just say like what you liked about it, maybe what I can improve on it, what were the most interesting parts, and things like that. So I'm going to send the website link right now. It's opening, one sec. So Mona says I can't come tomorrow. That's okay. It's going to be the same information, so you don't have to attend both meetings. In fact, I recommend if you attended this one, you don't have to go to the next one, unless you really want to. So one sec, I'm opening the website right now. Oh man, why is the website taking so long? Sorry, give me 1 second. There we go, I have it, here. Okay, so I sent the link in the chat. Can everyone see it? I would really appreciate it again if everyone could go in there and fill out like a testimonial or a review of the program. It would really help if we could have like something like that on the website so that I guess we could show it to people who would be interested. If you've done it already, you don't have to do it again, obviously. Just for those of you who haven't, it would be really awesome. Yeah, for those of you who did it, obviously, don't do it again. And it would be nice if like, actually, it's fine. Okay. And let's see, is there anything else? Yeah, not much. Once again, thank you everyone for attending this program. It's been such a joy to teach everyone. And we should definitely keep in contact, everyone, to in case you're interested in philosophy and in case, or definitely when our program restarts again. Okay, so if no one has any other questions or any comments, then I'm about to close the meeting. Once again, email me at any time if you have any questions about philosophy or anything else. I'm more than happy to help. This is a passion of mine, and I think I'm really passionate about sharing this to other people as well. Okay then. Yeah, I'm gonna close the meeting. Thank you to everyone who came, and bye everyone.